showtime. Can you hear me now? Please let me know if it works. We good? Check 1, 2, 3. Yay for audio. Somebody let me know if you can hear me. That would be awesome. Click. Yay. All right. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate it. Chop on. That's true. Dave Adams, if you're watching, look, this was intentional. I just want to show you. I don't know if you saw the thumbnail earlier, but this is, I'm going to hang on. Right now for a number of people, and some are choosing to be tuned into other things, and that's okay. That's okay. We'll kind of commentate along the way. So if anybody's curious, I am keeping up with the score right here. The Atlanta Braves are at 3, Astros are at 0. Um, the fourth just ended, so we're about to be at the top of the fifth, which is awesome. Hope the Bravos clinch it. Just a kind of fun family story before we get into tonight's content. So this is for those of you that watch live. In 1995, my dad had this crazy idea. He's like, "Hey, do you want to go to the World Series?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do want to go to the World Series," because I'm like, what, 14, 13, 14 at that point. And so anyway, my mom's like, "You're crazy. You don't want to do this." This is back when they were still playing at the old Fulton County Stadium that is now a parking lot. That was turned into a parking lot for Turner Field, aka the TED. Anyway, so we went and we were there for Game 6 when the Braves clinched it with that solo home run from Dave Justice. We were sitting in the outfield about 2 sections over from where that ball landed. It was an amazing experience. I was, afterwards was a very, shall we say, festive atmosphere out in the streets, and it took us a very long time to get back to the hotel where we were staying that night. But it was a really cool memory. We saved newspaper clippings, saved the tickets, saved the pennants, all those different things. It was a really, really cool experience. So for everybody that is tuning into the Braves tonight, chop on. I'm right there with you, Dave Adams, my friend. Hope that I know you're probably sitting out back in your outdoor sports watching area, whatever you call that, hanging out. So anyway, yeah, Dave says, I'll watch on the replay after the Braves fin. Hey, no offense at all, my friend. No offense at all. None taken. So yeah, anyway. So let's see here. Thank y'all for hopping on tonight and hanging out. We've got some good folks that are popping in. I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick preview of what our question of the day is. If you saw that on my personal feed earlier, what are your top 3 things that you put in your park bag when going to a Disney or Universal park? This is a topic. Sound like I'm from the north east. Apologize to all my southern friends. No offense to my northern friends. But anyway, this is a topic that a lot of vloggers, bloggers, social media gurus, cover. But this is super practical, and I want to give Jen kind of the big shout out on this for the idea. And she has a question. She's like, my first thought was just 3. Yes. So I said specifically just 3 because I wanted to kind of get a feeling for what everybody was coming from. But we're going to get into that. We're going to get into the why I said just 3 earlier. And I've got a list that's much longer than 3 sitting in my lap right now. So anyway, let's get over to the topic for tonight. And we're going to go ahead and get the ball rolling. And by the way, would love for you to like, share, comment, all the things, download. Find me on YouTube as well. We have a whopping 13 people. Yes, we're up from 6 to 13. Thank you to some of my friends that I met in Southern California. From 6 to 13 people that have subscribed to the official Travel Tips Tuesday YouTube channel. I'm chasing that 100 mark so we can get that official sort of custom URL, so it's a lot easier to find. So if you do not follow the Travel Tips Tuesday YouTube channel, please do that. I'm going to be sharing live content when I'm in the parks. I'm going to be showing pictures of past nighttime spectaculars and doing a number of other things there. So let's get on with it, shall we? Tonight, this is Travel Tips Tuesday, and it is November the 2nd, 2021. And our question of the day is, what are your top 3 things that you put in your park bag when going to a Disney or Universal park? Again, what are your top 3 things that you put in your park bag when going to a Disney or Universal park? And I want to get a major shout out to one of our top listeners, Jen, for the topic idea. She actually suggested this months ago, and it has been in the back of my mind this whole time. I had some other friends that covered this on their show, so I wanted to give it a little bit before I covered it on this one, because we have some people that listen to the same ones and that kind of thing. And this is going to be one of those shows, like some of the ones that we do on occasion, that is very, very, very listener driven. So please comment, please share, please throw these things in there, because I want to share this with everybody that's out there, because I think we have things that we can learn from each other. Everybody has a different experience going into the park. Some people travel solo. They like to travel light without a bag at all. Some people like me travel with a bajillion kids, and you got the double stroller. You got every kid's got a water bottle. You got, diapers and pull-ups for this one. You got diapers and pull-ups for, this one, and baby wipes and sunscreen and all the different things, right? You're bringing house and home because you want to make sure everybody's happy and taken care of. So there's a mix, right? We all come in at it, the whole park bag idea, at it in a different way. So I'm going to be attacking it more so, I think, from the angle of, and we'll comment on like large families and young families and that kind of thing along the way. But I'm going to attack the question from more so just sort of that core family unit where they might have teenagers, parents, say like a couple of kids, parents, that kind of thing. So not just kind of that typical family experience, I guess. So because everybody's experience is a little bit different, but we're going to sort of look at some of the basics, right? Because everybody has their own sort of favorite thing they want to take in that they've got to have that sort of makes their trip. But we're going to look at a lot of the basics, and there are a lot of them, right? There are a lot of them. I've even got, this is my park bag, by the way. Before we even get into talking about park bags, we're going to talk about some Disney news here in just a second. But this is my park bag that I have. This is, This is, so it's a Travelmation bag. This is our retreat bag that we got all our retreat swag in last January, which is great because I love this thing because it packs flat, right? It's a lot smaller than it looks. It's super light. I can just stick it right on top of everything else in my suitcase when I close it. It doesn't take up any extra space. Take it out when I get to the destination, get to the hotel, and load it up with my water bottle and all the things that I take. So super, super practical. So if you do take a bag, I highly recommend it not to be a big laptop bag, but to be one that you can pack in your suitcase. Don't let it be one of those drawstring bags either, because those things are not comfortable after a full day in the parks. Alrighty. So let's talk about some Disney news real quickly. And there's a bunch of different things that we're going to cover. The first of this is Broadway star Jordan Fisher. So Jordan Fisher is well known for being one of the voices in the Happily Ever After theme song. So for all of you folks that love Happily Ever After, you're probably familiar with him there. He's also a Broadway star. He will be performing an original Disney Cruise Line theme song in the 95th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It is hard to believe that we're just over about 4 weeks away from the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade this year. I am so excited to see people out there, to see things get, it just like, it's one of those things that like I look forward to. Yeah, like I'm in the kitchen, I'm chopping onions and celery and making cornbread for the cornbread dressing on Thanksgiving, but always have an eye on the TV. It's just part of the Thanksgiving Day experience, part of a big Thanksgiving Day tradition that we absolutely love. And speaking of traditions, we are going to cover a holiday tradition episode at some point in time this holiday season as we get closer, because I think that's fun, right? I think it's a lot of fun to see how different people celebrate the holidays. The next thing is this, and I have something that I'm going to share on my screen with you. For those of you that are watching live, you will be able to see this, and that is that Disney holiday merch is coming, and there already are some things that are in the stores now. Most of these things are already out. Some of them may be still on their way. but I want to show you all these things right here. So this is the article from Disney Parks blogs. I'm always going to share official sources from you. I had my own sort of travel blog for a short time. It's still kind of floating around out there, but there's so much good information, I think, and I try to do a lot of it live here on the podcast. I do have all these outlines and things, and one of these days we may put it all together. But anyway, for official Disney sources, I go straight to the horse's mouth, and I just want to show you a few of the things that are out there. Of course, you got their fun little graphic. Got jolly new merchandise coming to Disney Parks and Shop Disney. So some of these things will be on Shop Disney. Some of them are parks exclusive. They've got some really cool new ears that are coming along that you can see there that look really fun. I love the gingerbread Mickey ears with the Santa hats on. Those are pretty cool. A lot of great ones out there. And then, of course, we've got our Loungefly backpacks that are holiday themed. This one's kind of neat. So it's got a lot of the kind of desserty items like churros, and you can see the Mickey Premium bars on there, and a few other things. But like they're and even candy canes. The churros are kind of wrapped up in a holiday theme, and then the Mickey Premium bars have a Santa hat on them, and that's pretty fun. The other version of the Loungefly, that one's red. The other version of Loungefly is white, and it is Mickey and Minnie sort of sitting in sort of an alpine scene, sort of in a heart, but it is they're on a ski lift, but the ski lift kind of frame is a heart, and it's just sort of fun. It's got Christmas lights on it, and it's a pretty neat little experience. And they've got some dresses and for the little girls that are out there, and some shirts for the guys, and all that are pretty fun. Spirit jerseys galore. Man, Spirit jerseys used to be like one of those things that you rarely saw. That like when they were out there for like 5 minutes, and then people just bought them up. But now there's like a Spirit jersey for everything at Disney. You can find one for everything because people will pay the money and they'll buy them. There's lightweight, there's heavyweight, there's short sleeve Spirit jerseys I've even seen. So anyway, we've got some holiday themed hoodies as well. Of course, Disney jammies. If you want to, dress up for your family holiday picture in Disney jammy PJs, you can do that. There's a couple of different versions of that you can see there that are on the screens, and there are also so a lot of Disney merchandise is sort of Christmassy themed, but there is some Disney themed Hanukkah merch that is out there as well, which I think is great. I love that. Disneyland has their own holiday merch as well. And like 2 days after I left Disneyland, they had some of the stuff in the stores. I was like, oh man, because I'm a big fan of holiday merch. I actually bought this. I'll show this to you all if you can see this on the screen, hopefully. If you can see that on the screen, it's a Disneyland ornament. There we go. It's got the California Adventure kind of in the back, and then you can see Sleeping Beauty Castle and the Matterhorn on there. It's kind of fun. So love that. We try to get a Disney ornament on every trip, and we have several of them now, as you can imagine. They do have, by the way, going back to the Spirit jerseys, they have them in adult and kid sizes, so be on the lookout for that. There are a few other things you can get. They have Disney Plus gift cards for sale where you can gift Disney Plus to friends or family. They have some T-shirts that are out there, which are pretty fun. Some Aulani exclusive holiday merch as well, which is kind of neat. And they have some holiday themed plushes and food items and totes and ugly sweaters. Also some exclusive items to Disneyland Paris that look really neat. If you can see these live, I think these pieces look really neat. They're the ornaments, and that looks like a porcelain, almost a Christmas villagey kind of thing. And they have some Advent, basically what are Advent calendars to help you count down to Christmas Day, and some additional Spirit jerseys you'll see there exclusive to Disneyland Paris, which is a lot of fun. And over in Hong Kong Disneyland, they also have some unique items as well, some that light up at night. And if you are fans of Duffy, so Duffy used to be a lot of places. His home in Walt Disney World was Epcot. We don't really see Duffy a whole lot. We do have a stuffed Duffy in my house that we picked up at Epcot one year, but it's very popular over in Hong Kong Disneyland, and there are some Duffy themed holiday items that are going to be out there as well, which is pretty neat. So a lot of cool stuff that's coming for the holiday season, a lot of great holiday merch that I wanted to show you, and I know a lot of folks are getting excited about that. If you'll excuse me for just a second, I dropped my outline. I'm going to pick that up. There we go. All right. So we'll just leave that in live because something always happens. But let's go ahead and get into tonight's content. I'm gonna check the comments real quick. My wife says that red loungefly is really cute. I agree. It looks really fun. The Reeves, Jen says she likes the Reeves as well. Jen says the limits help. I enjoy my spirit jerseys. I wore my Hocus Pocus one on Halloween this year. That's pretty fun. I enjoy Hocus Pocus. I had a friend that kind of went on a social media rant recently and talked about how Hocus Pocus really is not that great of a movie, and I kind of agree. But there's something sort of, I don't know, it's just sort of fun about it, right? People like to laugh, I smell children, whatever. So anyway, um, let's see here. What else we have? Just kind of checking along here. Awesome stuff. Cool. All right. So let's go ahead and get into tonight's topic. Again, we're going to come back to a couple of announcements at the end that are pretty important. A new sort of contest that I'm running, and also another special announcement that I'm going to mention. So let's get into tonight's topic, and that is the top tips. So we have this series that we come back to on occasion called Top Tips for Travel Tips Tuesday. We like to be super practical on occasion. And this is all about what to put in that Disney or Universal Park bag. So what to put in that Disney or Universal Park bag. If you have a suggestion, please drop it here live in the comments. I'm going to go through a few and commentate on several that some folks mentioned earlier in the live on my personal feed when I posted this. A lot of great comments and suggestions, and these are in no particular order. Again, these are just sort of some basic things. And again, going back to what I was saying at the beginning, I really realized that there are some specific items that some people gotta have that are very specific to their needs and their family, maybe even part of traditions that they may have and things like that. So these are things like if we were to come up with a list for say for beginners, for first time visitors to Disney parks, these are the kinds of things that we would recommend. There's those kinds of things to think of. So all right, so first on my list is this pain meds. So pain meds, your Alka-Seltzer, your Aleve, Tylenol, ibuprofen, Advil, sort of same thing there. If I were to take one, for me, it would be Advil or ibuprofen, just because it's sort of anti-inflammatory. It sort of helps better for me at the end of the day. I do try to take care of my feet. For a lot of folks, it's feet pain, it's back pain, just from being on your feet for 10, 12, 15, 16 hours, whatever the case may be. And yeah, you'll be you'll be hurting at the end of the day, and you'll have fun, right? So you won't be just completely miserable, but at the same time, you want to take care of yourself. So that's one thing. And there are some things that I think you can do to help even prevent from getting to the point of having to take pain meds. One of the basic things is proper footwear. Finding footwear that is designed to support your feet, but that is also park friendly. That is one of the reasons why I love my Chaco sandals so much, because I have high arches and they sort of molded to my feet over time. And, they dry out quickly. If it's rain, not a big deal. If it rains, not a big deal if they get wet. And they're honestly, for sandals, they're super comfortable on my feet for, having them on for all day long in the parks. Super great. Also, number 2 on here are protein bars. Somebody specifically earlier mentioned Larabars as kind of a brand that they prefer. There's all sorts of different protein bars that are out there. Some of them have a lot of junk in them. Some of them don't. But protein bars are a great way to keep the hunger pangs at bay. So every time you turn around and there's a different flavor of Dole Whip in front of you, or another flavor of churro right there on a cart, you're not tempted to go, yeah, I need that, right? So, that's one of those things you can have. It'll keep those hunger pangs away. It's a little bit better before you, especially the, ones that are lower in sugar are pretty decent. The third one, and this is for my wife, is sunscreen. 100% sunscreen. That's her, gotta have that, right? And this is one of those things that, especially if you have your kids, if you've got sensitive skin, anyway, you're in Florida, the sun's out a lot. It is overcast sometimes, when you're there, but the sun usually comes out at some point during the day. Even if it's cooler, you want to make sure you have that. It's one of those things, of course, dermatologists recommend, that kind of thing. It's just sort of a basic thing. And please bring it with you. You may have to check a bag to bring, the right size, or find a travel size, bottle of it, but bring sunscreen with you. I can tell you right now, I've had to buy sunscreen at Disney World before. It's not cheap, y'all. It's not cheap. Like it's like you're paying twice the price of at least of what you could find it at, say, like Walmart or your grocery store for. So definitely bring that sunscreen with you if you can. Most Disney gift shops and the resort hotels and in the parks, especially the ones towards the front. There's usually ones kind of close to guest relations that has it. If you do happen to forget it, they usually have at least SPF and 30 waterproof and kid friendly sunscreens and those kinds of things. So completely agree. Jen actually says, so this is a great comment. I'm going to put this up here. Jen says, especially kite tail sunscreen. That is where she got burned on her shoulders in the park. Gave out an extra sunscreen at the park on this past trip to family. So yeah, carry an extra one. You never know, because there may be a family, there may be some people there like me sometimes that forget to bring their sunscreen along with them. Number 4, ponchos. Ponchos are everywhere, and it rains a lot at Disney, especially through the spring, through the summer, and early fall months. There's going to be a shower at some point. Disney does sell ponchos in the stores, and they're usually pretty quality. They're sort of good quality. They're themed Disney, but just go to Walmart, go to Target, anywhere that sells or just go to Amazon and buy a bunch of them. The cheaper ponchos that are kind of a one-time use sort of thing. They're lighter. They don't take up much room. You won't know that they're there. You don't have to worry about going overweight on your bags if you're checking them, that kind of thing. And you can reuse them, or you can buy the Disney ones and reuse them time and time again. We have done that with our family before. So, that's kind of fun, but just take them. Like you don't know when you will need them. You can carry an extra one in case somebody forgets one. You can carry an extra one to have something to sit on if everywhere's wet outside. So there's a lot of different reasons to have a poncho. That a lot of different ways you can use them for, of course, when it rains, and maybe even when it doesn't, if you just need something to put down, right, to sit on. Number 5, an external phone charger and cord. So this is like one of those things. It's like one of the first things I put in my bag, because I know I'm going to be using my phone a lot. You'll see me go live in the parks before. This is what I'm using right here for that. Taking a lot of pictures, taking video. You're using the My Disney Experience app. If you're at Disneyland, you're using the Disneyland app. If you're at Universal, you're using the Universal app. Especially the Disney parks, most of the quick service food options are now via mobile order. So you want to make sure you have that up to date. You get your Disney Photo Pass pictures that way. You can put your tickets on your phone now. Number of different things that you can do through the My Disney Experience app these days in Walt Disney World. So definitely something you want to have. You want to make sure you have a backup battery. You're fully charged when you go out the door, and you have that portable USB charger as well. Disney does have fuel rod locations in the parks. There's one, I believe, there used to be one over at Space Mountain. I think there's one kind of towards the front of the park in Magic Kingdom as well. But those are the little sort of fuel cylinders where you can get like a charge and a half or so out of them, and you can exchange them at the different locations. I think the cost around $30 on Disney property. There's no fee to exchange them, but when you go off Disney property and you see fuel rods at other locations, because fuel rod is not specifically a Disney thing, you can find them, I believe, also at Universal, even other Disney parks and hotels, right? So some places you'll go in other theme parks and even airports and just random places when you're out traveling. Other places will charge you an exchange fee, but Disney will not do that because that's part of the deal that they had. There was a time when they were saying that they were going to come back and start charging people for that fuel rod, but they're not doing that for the exchanges. They're still $30 to pick one up. So do that next time you're at Disney. If you want something you can do and just have that, it's going to have a good charge. Because it used to be where a lot of these USB power bricks, to get more than one charge out of them would weigh like 5 pounds. I've got one somewhere here in my office. It's one of my older ones. But now most of the charging bricks or charging cells, you can get 2 or 3 charges out of them, and they don't weigh that much, and you can even charge multiple devices, 2-3 devices at one time, with the either standard USB-A or USB-C connections in a lot of cases. So the next thing is the cord. So with that, I can't tell you the number of times that I've walked out the door, even like brought a phone cable with me, but just forgot to bring it with me to the park. Remember your charging cable. Remember your charging cable. Pack a couple of them. One that you can keep in your hotel room. One that you can keep in your park bag, so you don't forget it. One way or another. Because those USB charging cables for your phones, if it's a Lightning cable, if it's a USB C or whatever it is, micro USB, those are not cheap at Disney either. You can find them most of the gift shops. They are there. They are available, but you're talking paying 20, $25 for something like that you can get for less than half that and probably better quality product at like Amazon or Best Buy. So just a little tip there. Bring a couple of cords with you. Pack at least a couple with you on your trip. Again, keep one in your hotel room. Keep one with you in your park bag specifically. Number 6, hand sanitizer. So even though there are lots of hand sanitizer stations that are around, more often than not, those are out. Just kind of being frank, in my recent experience at Disney, those hand sanitizer stations have not been super well maintained as far as making sure they're staying filled. So bring your own with you. It's just easier that way, especially if you're having a quick bite. Even go beyond that. Get like an antibacterial wipe, like wet ones or something like that. You can get the little travel size packs of them. Basically does the same thing, but gets a lot of the dirt and grime off your hands at the same time. They're great for kids too. So baby wipes. There's another option. Chapstick for sure. So when you're out there, your lips can get easily chapped, especially if it's a windy day. It is humid there, but if it's windy, your lips can definitely get easily chapped if you're outside. 8, Band-Aids. You never know when you're going to have an accidental boo-boo. We had that happen with one of my sons one time. We were in Magic Kingdom, and no, it was not Magic Kingdom. It was Sunset Boulevard at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and accidentally stumbled off the curb, and he had, kind of gashed up his knee a little bit, sort of little road burn, just kind of skinned it up some, and had to take him over to first aid to get him a Band-Aid, and they give us some Band-Aid, sign in, and kind of the whole thing. But if you have those with you, it just kind of, helps to have Band-Aids. They don't take up a lot of room. They don't take up a lot of weight. So that's key, low weights, not a lot of room. Be practical. Some people carry a little mini, like, first aid bag with your pain pills and your like your Advil or whatever, and your Band-Aids and Neosporin or whatever, just in case. Your phone, don't forget your phone. That should have been like, that's just assumed, right? At this point, it's just sort of a part of us. But definitely don't forget your phone. Some people like to leave their phones in their hotel rooms to give themselves a different experience in the park, which is definitely an idea. It is getting harder to do that. There are some mobile ordering, or there are some quick service food locations that will still let you order without a phone. You just have to ask the cast member on how to do that, because not everybody has the phones, and phones fail sometimes. So I challenge you, maybe if you go to the parks a lot, go without your phone. Check it out. See what it's like. Be fun. Number 10, lipstick. Not for me, but there are some folks that love having lipstick to make sure they look sharp for pictures and after meals and stuff like that. Number 11, a water bottle. So I have a very specific kind of water bottle that I have a very specific water bottle that I take that fits in the bag that I showed you all earlier. It's skinny. It holds about 20 ounces. It's an Arctic brand. It's kind of like a Yeti sort of thing, but it's an Arctic brand, double wall stainless steel insulated, that keeps ice pretty solidly as well. So let's take a look at our comments, because the comments are alive today. Jen says a Ziploc bag to put the poncho in is helpful too, to keep your stuff dry in your bag. Very good call there. Jen says, let's see here. Jen says it. So she's talking about the fuel rod location. It is in the Space Mountain gift shop. You are correct on that. If you go to the back of the Space Mountain gift shop, by the way, they have this whole little area where these payphones used to be back in the day. If you remember those things, you put a quarter in, you pick it up, you call people, and somebody yells at you over the phone when your 5 minutes is up or whatever it is. But they actually have USB outlets and charging locations where you can just plug directly into the wall with your charging cord, if you remember it. The Space Mountain gift shop would be glad to sell you one if you forget one. But if you're looking for a spot to charge inside, definitely recommend the Space Mountain gift shop. It's a solid location to catch some AC and maybe take a little break inside. Jess says, I usually don't take a bag, but if I do, fuel rod, drinks, and umbrella. Good call there. Umbrella is one of those things that Serves a couple of different purposes. Obviously, helps keep you dry. If you're not a fan of ponchos, what some people aren't, they kind of just, you kind of feel hot and clammy when you have them on. Umbrellas, especially the small ones. Not talking about the big giant golf umbrellas, but like the small ones that are more compact for like maybe just one, maybe two people, are great. Could fit easy in a bag. Sometimes you can just strap it on the outside or stick it in a bottle holder or something like that. Would be a great call. Great call there. Jen says she lost her phone at Magic Kingdom and had a great trip without her phone. That's true. If memory serves correctly, I think you did that on the 50th anniversary day on October 1. So the Wi-Fi and the apps weren't working that well that day anyway. So anyway, moving on. So water bottles, great idea. You don't have to bring them in full. You can. Now, I am not afraid to drink the Florida tap water. I'm okay with it. Haven't gotten sick. I'm still standing yet. Kind of has an interesting taste to it, which is why some people will recommend like the drink mixes and electrolyte, mixes like even if it's like a Gatorade or Crystal Light or the Noon tablets. If you see those, they're real popular for runners and athletes and whatnot. Love those. They have some that have caffeine in them, some that do not. They have different types of electrolytes in them that are kind of lower calorie. So a bunch of different options here. Those drink mixes can help that Florida tap water go down. Of course, you can get a cup of ice water at any Disney quick service location. All that you have to do is ask for it. Sometimes they already have trays sitting out there. And if you do walk up to a quick service location to get some ice water, and they are checking people's phones to make sure that they have an active order, you can't order, a cup of ice water to pick up like the free, like just go in and order it on the app. You don't do that. Just walk straight up, tell the cast member at the door, I need to get a cup of ice water, and they'll let you in. They'll show you where to go and pick that up. Had to do that at Casey's Corner on the 50th and had a great experience there. So loved it. Good stuff. But yeah, I'll go to the water fountains. There are some bottle refilling stations in some of the parks. They're not as common as they probably could be. But that is one of those things that I think with different refurbishments along the way that we are probably going to be seeing more of. Again, I mentioned the electrolyte drink mix. Definitely, electrolytes will help you feel better towards the end of the day. You are gonna drink way more water than you think. You'll drink probably a couple of gallons of it throughout the day, especially if you're there from like open to close. And in some of the parks like Animal Kingdom, where you're going to do a lot of walking, and at Epcot where you're going to do a lot of walking and there's not a ton of shade, you will be drinking a lot of water, especially again if you're there all day. Number 13, Body Glide, and Body Glide is a product that helps cut down on chafing, which is it's a personal thing. Yeah, I get that, I understand that, but it is super practical and definitely one of those things that you could think about if that is something that you're concerned about. A lot of runners, so on some of the Run Disney groups, so shout out to Run Disney, working by Run Disney. Pullover that my wife bought me on her trip on her momcation last March. And anyway, so a lot of folks in the Run Disney groups will always mention this, guys and gals, for running. It's a great product, super practical, and will definitely help out. Can definitely give you can help you be proactive to avoid certain issues. Sharpies are also great as well. So Sharpies can, of course, help you label things. If you forget your water bottle and you're having to buy, the Dasani in the park, and you've got a group of people, you can just kind of write your name on the caps and on the bottles and kind of keep everybody separate. Especially if everything's being carried in one spot, like in a stroller or in one person particular's bag. Sharpies have a number of great uses. They're super versatile, and again, lightweight, don't take up a lot of space. Number 15, cooling rags are great. I think Frog Togs is one of the brands that's out there. There are several brands that are out there. You can just get them wet and then wrap them around your neck. They sort of sit right there around your carotid artery and help keep you pretty cool throughout the day. They will definitely make a difference for you, for sure. Number 16, Dramamine. So if you are prone to motion sickness, even if it's just like the slight motion of a boat, or I'm not even talking like intense roller coasters or like Mission Space at Epcot, the orange version. But I'm just talking like if you're slightly prone to motion sickness, definitely think about Dramamine as well. Again, we already talked about Band-Aids as an option. We've talked about We're talking about, of course, the cooling rags, body glide, water bottles. But we'll talk about sunglasses and hats. So that sort of goes hand in hand with sunscreen as well. So you want to make sure you protect your eyes. The sun is out most days when you're there. So having a solid pair of sunglasses, maybe one that you don't mind if they get accidentally lost. There's the old line on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Magic Kingdom where they tell you to best remove them, to take them off. One of my favorite YouTubers likes to quote that on occasion. But yeah, so just be aware that if you're wearing them, sometimes you forget you're wearing them if it's when you're out during the day. So that's just why I recommend one that's polarized, UVAB protected, that you can put on, that'll stay on your face. Maybe they're not the most stylish things in the world, but they'll be super practical, and it's not the biggest deal if you accidentally lose them and you need to get another pair. Hats for sure as well. Ears, so don't forget the Mickey ears. If you're a Mickey ear fan, I personally don't wear Mickey ears because, well, like my head, it's big. But the old school kind, like the old school, like Mickey Mouse Club kind, not like the new kind that's basically like a headband that you can wear. And then last but not least, and we're going to pop over to the comments and see what's been rolling on there. Park maps. And you're probably, well, like you got apps and stuff, but park maps, like it's pretty basic. But what if you lose your phone? What if there's a special event going on and you want to know where some of these special event kiosks are? You want to know if you're going to one of the after hours parties where the Mickey premium bars are going to be that you can get, or where the popcorn is going to be, or where the Cokes are going to be, or where they're going to have certain characters set up. So some of the park maps, especially for some of the special events that they're going to have, do have information in them that are not always typical. And occasionally information does change as they move along. Plus, they can make a cool, practical souvenir for you. So you can just kind of have something to look back on, and they can help you plan a trip. If you know somebody else that is planning a trip, you can grab a couple of them and bring them back home and share them with your buds. So definitely something you can do. So let's pop over and take a peek at the news feed today, because there are a lot of helpful comments that have been rolling in since we've been going. I want to see where we go. So Audrey says rain jacket. It never rains when she packs it. Advil and water bottle. So rain jackets for sure. If you don't have your umbrella or your poncho. Poncho, sunscreen, hand sanitizer. Michelle says puck, battery pack, mini umbrella, and bottle of water. Chris commented back, except when you forget your umbrella, then it becomes your souvenir. Yeah, so I've done that with sunscreen before, like I've mentioned. Donna says poncho, phone charger with cable, and Tylenol, phone charger, sunscreen, hand sanitizer. So phone chargers on there a lot. I cannot stress enough the need to make sure that you have those with you. Anchor is there are a couple of brands I want to tell you about as far as phone chargers go if you're not a fuel rod person. The first one is Anchor that I love. They make a bunch of different kinds, some that just charge one device. Again, like I mentioned earlier, some that charge two, some that are rapid chargers, some that are contactless chargers. Yes, you can get a portable USB, like wireless, like where you don't even have to have the cable. Now, you can just sit your phone, on top of it with since a lot of phones have wireless charging now, some that have USB-C connections. So just be on the lookout and check the kind of milliamps that are on there. That kind of tells you how much output it's going to be able to give you and how good it will be for you. So they are super practical, and somebody's always going to forget somebody's always going to forget their cable. So having some extras on hand may be a good idea. Again, I like Anchor. I also like the brand Insignia. Insignia is a brand that is kind of the store brand for Best Buy, and they make a pretty good quality product as well. So it may be their store brand, but it's still pretty good stuff. I have a couple of their chargers that I love as well. So good stuff, everybody. Let's see here. All right, we're going to load up this question one more time because you've had a couple of extra comments drop in. If you can hear the computer going off here. There we go. Awesome stuff, everybody. Thank you so much. Yeah, so Jen was saying when she went to Boo Bash, that park map was clutch. So Boo Bash was the Halloween after hours event. That's pretty solid. So a lot of great tips, everybody. And thank you again so much, because we went through about 20 different ones plus a few bonus tips along the way. And I hope that if you are planning your next trip to Disney, this is helpful. Now, again, I'm the kind of person that likes to go to the parks light. I've been in the parks without a bag, and it is so freeing that I ended up with a bag because I ended up buying something by the end of the day. But it is so freeing when you don't have to have a lot. If you can just have like your phone charger and your portable USB kind of recharging device and like a water bottle, I'm usually okay. Maybe a small thing of sunscreen in your pocket. I'm good there. I don't need the water flavorings. I can go to first aid if I need a band-aid, but if you're with your family, if you're with young kids, especially, you want to make sure that you're prepared and you're ready to go. So having a list is not that bad of an idea. It can help cut down the stress and can help you have a great vacation, help you avoid any Walmart or Target runs or buying any souvenirs, as Michelle put it earlier, in any souvenirs by accident. So a lot of great stuff in here. Thank you all so much for commenting tonight. I did mention I had a couple of quick announcements regarding a contest that I am announcing tonight. I did post a graphic last week, and I posted it again this morning. I have a campaign running for 21 more trips in 2021. So if you book a trip at any point in the month of November or December for future travel, if you book a trip at any point in the month of November or December for future travel, you will be entered in to a drawing for a gift card for your destination in the amount of $50. Now, there are going to be some minimums required for that, minimum stays and park tickets and that kind of thing. And I'll be posting the details in a post tomorrow morning that you will see. Just kind of want to go ahead and put that out there and tease that for you. So for all the kind of what you have to be able to be entered into that, you'll see those particular details in the morning around the time that this podcast will go live on podcast players as well. So there'll be a 21 more trips in 2021 campaign that we have already been running, but any new trip that is booked in the month of November or December for future travel will qualify for a $50 gift card as long as it meets a couple of minimum requirements. So has to be a 3-day park hopper ticket or more for Disney destinations, and then either a cruise or all-inclusive would automatically qualify. Hotel stays at Disney parks would also automatically qualify. If you have any questions about that, feel free to message me. Be more than happy to let you know. And then last but not least, just want to say a major thanks to a lot of awesome clients and friends out there, my wife as well, that supported me along the way. October 2021 was the busiest travel month that I've had since I've been part of Travelmation, been a travel agent at all, because this is the third agency that I've been with, and I've loved my time with Travelmation. I've been with Travelmation a little over 3 years now, and it's been so amazing. Such a great family network of support. And for the first time, I made their top 10 for monthly sales. So that is something that's not me. It's all of you that have trusted me to help plan your incredible vacations and memories that you have made. And thank you so much for letting me be a part of it. It's been an amazing journey, and there are so many more memories yet to make. So if I can help you plan any more, please let me know. I don't charge any planning fees whatsoever. And it is my goal as your travel planner to make sure I reduce the hassle of your vacation experience so you can focus on your why and just relax and enjoy making some awesome memories along the way. Thank you all again so much for joining me for another super fun episode of Travel Tips Tuesday. I hope this one has been practical for you, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.